for Voss.
Voss, like all good players, has 4 adjustments in his game. He does it with speed control, loft control, angle on the lane, and the type of ball he's using. Here he throws the ball a little bit wide, head pin to the sideboard, takes out the 4, 5, the 7 remains. He would lead by 1 pin.
8 championships here on ADC. Oh, there, speaking of champions, Paula Carter, our hostess, and her husband, Don Carter. Just a lovely pair, and that's Paula's sister behind, the brunette, Marcy.
Terrific hosts. This bowling center about 8 months old, and the pros have really given it the baptism it needed. The fans have been fantastic, and they've been rewarded with what great champions here in the final. Now Voss leads by 1, 7th frame.
Oh.
What a bad break. The 5 pin should have gone over towards the 7. Instead, it went straight back, and he ends up with a 7-10 split. All he can do is just kind of throw the ball at this 10 pin, and hopefully he can bounce one out. He will trail after this shot if he doesn't convert.
Went all out, did the 11-time champion, Brian-Voss. Losing the lead to Marc-McDowell. Will be back.
Good pocket hit. Now McDowell, who is waiting for everything to settle down in the center, carefully sets himself, and he's ready to go.
We're at the gateway to the Florida Keys, which would seem to be an idyllic spot for honeymooners. We look at money leaders, which is very important for honeymooners as well. Bruce Hamilton leading the pack, and McDowell and Sullins next in line are both on our telecast, and Dave Ferrara, who was defeated by Brian-Voss, has the number 4 position in the averages.
Now McDowell, 8th frame, can take a 22-pin lead.
And as I was going to say, ABC Sports Associate producer Nancy Stern is getting married today to Dr. Rick Winter. And of course, all of us at ABC Sports wish them well. It'll be Dr. and Mrs. Rick Winter. Nice going, Nancy.
Nancy, a production assistant on the Pro Bowlers Tour a few years back. Now with talking about back, Voss's back is to the wall. He trails by 22 pins, 8th frame.
Wobbly 10.
Partner, that was a solid 10. Boy, he almost got it. That 6 pin just nicked it. As you see the angle that Brian-Voss shot, he was right around the 2nd arrow. Came up here, looks solid in the pocket, but not to be. Watch that 6 fly around the 10. Just nicks it.
Neil Bo, as I look at Marc-McDowell and Brian-Voss, I'm often asked the question, are these professional bowlers athletes? You bet. You bet.
Well, you think about it, Chris, you bowl like in the finals yesterday. We bowled 16 games plus practice. That's maybe 20, 25 games. How many miles you walk with 16 pounds in your hand. Plus all these guys cross-train when they're away from the tour. Look at Voss, the body he's got, a weightlifting, running. He's in shape.
Who has better hand-eye coordination?
Yeah!
Okay. Won the first match, 235 to 207.
Boy, his concentration is so good. Perfect shot. McDowell, 9th frame, 22-pin lead.
Nice break, hitting that 7-pin the last minute. In 8 tournaments, we've had 8 different winners.
No domination this year, Chris. Just too many good players out there. As you see McDowell hitting light, driving the 5 into the 7. And right now he's put himself in a position where a good count and a mark in the 10th would ensure victory. If he opens, Voss can still win. The door is open. Right now, Marc-McDowell, with a good count and a spare, would have won. He's going over to look at the scoreboard right now. If he spares, he'd have 219, but this is a tough shot. He needs to get the ball to get over here to the right of the 3-pin, drive the 3 into the 4. A very tough shot. If he makes it, he ensures victory. If he misses, Voss can win.
Careful preparation. Left lane.
All right, for Brian-Voss, it opens the door. He must strike on the next 2 balls and get 7 pins. 2 strikes and 7. Anything less, Marc-McDowell will go into the semifinal against Danny Wiseman.
There's one.
What action the last couple of weeks, partner. Right down to the very last ball.
Yuck.
Some of the greatest players.
Can I?
Voss says yuck. He wants a re-rack. He carefully looks at the rack. He's taking one of his 2 re-racks. A couple of good things about this, Chris. Maybe the pins were off spot, but just that little extra time as you see the pin setter inserting one of the 21 pins in every rack. Voss, a new set coming up. Here they are. This shot and 7 pins for the win. Anything less, he loses.
Well now. Last year, Brian-Voss won at Austin. He won the Pinole Open.
Great clutch player. Hasn't lost a singles match, Chris, as you mentioned, in 2 years. And a decision time. When you need 7 pins, you got to go for the pocket. I don't think he'll throw this one down the middle like we saw the other time. He's not going to give that head pin away. He's not going to throw it.
All right. What a powerful is he pumped up. Brian-Voss has won 2. Now Bo teams up with Cindy Coburn to show you how a good practice session